Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Piofiore along Dante's route. We were kidnapped by the Visconti, but we were very quickly returned back to the Falzones. All Dante had to do was ask, and apparently he cut some kind of deal in secret that we were not privy to the details of. And we have found out that Nicola appears to have betrayed us, but he also doesn't seem to be loyal to the Visconti at the moment, so it's like, is he just on his own side, or is he triple-crossing them for somebody else, or is he still working for the Falzones, but he was just ingratiating himself with the Visconti so he could get something else from them? I don't know, there's a couple possibilities. I mean, he could be actually working for the church, or he could actually be working for the Lao Shu. It's all just speculation. So, you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. It had been almost a week since we moved to the hotel. Dante's day started a bit strangely. What? He used double the amount of Why? Why is he suddenly eating tons of sugar? He used double the amount of sugar he usually added to his cafe latte. He poured balsamic vinegar on his meal until it was black all over. What's wrong with Dante? Oh, Dante! Dante crumpled to the ground. I quickly ran over to him and checked his temperature. A fever? Dante slowly waved me off, seeing how flustered I was. Aw, it's just a cold. I thought he was lovesick, finally realizing his feelings for me.
It's nothing.
So we get to nurse him to health, at least. One of your traditional romance tropes. He's lying. He looks like he's hurt. I somehow got Dante to go to bed, and soon enough he fell asleep. I looked at his face, twitching with pain. Aw, Leo, bring some cold medicine. Maybe I can ask the hotel to call for a doctor. But Dante is too well known as the Falzone family's boss. There were bound to be problems if Dante's existence here was made known. Leo's coming tomorrow for his report. Seeing Dante in pain was too much. I decided to place a call. My call wasn't to a doctor, but to the Falzone Manor. I hope that's okay. What the? For some peculiar reason, no one was answering the phone. Uh-oh, that's kind of scary. Did something happen at the manor? Anxiety arose inside me as time passed. After some deep thought, I made a decision. Dante, are you able to get up? Why are we getting him up?
Yes, I'm fine.
I explained to Dante that no one was picking up the phone at the manor. I'll go to the manor. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You can't be this dumb, Lily. I'll go to the manor to see what's happening. If all goes well, a doctor will be here shortly. This is by far the most stupid thing you have ever thought of in this entire game. And there's nothing that could possibly top it. I mean, we definitely don't want Dante to go out as sick as he is. But it would just completely defeat the entire purpose of everything if you went to the manor. And if something has gone wrong, then it can help you make a call on what to do, right?
Don't.
But the manor isn't that far away from here. Why are we staying so close? I'm also a fast runner, you know. You can't outrun cars.
But
I'm worried about you and everyone else in the family. You've all protected me ever since that night you came to save me at the church. This is the very least I can do to repay you. At least wear a disguise. A very good one that hides your hair.
fine.
And you! How could you be so dumb as to okay this, Dante?
But take this.
A gun? Dante handed me his gun. Well, that's something at least. What if I take this? You won't have anything to protect yourself with.
Do you think I only carry one with me?
I'm glad you don't. I would have been very disappointed if you did. I don't know how to use it.
Just cock the hammer, and then pull the trigger.
Didn't have safeties back then. He briefly gestured how to use it, but I wasn't confident at all. The gun in my hand was heavy and cold. Please pray that I won't need to use it. I took the gun, hoping it would be just a lucky charm, then left the hotel. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. There were people walking around the streets. Everything looked normal. But for some reason, there was tension in the air. Why didn't I at least wear a disguise? I wonder what happened.
Them Falzones are the worst.
Who knew they were deceiving us? I heard murmurs of irritation and ridicule coming from the people around me. Excuse me, did something happen with the Falzones?
You didn't read today's paper yet? It says...
Oh boy. La Gazzetta.
Notizie, Bologna police scandal arises.
Bologna detective arrested as prime suspect. No! Marco Calderoni under arrest. Marco! Polo. Colonna, the true darkness encroaching upon the kingdom of Italy. Truth behind Bologna's shame, the mafia. The previous sentence what started with it says here that Detective Marco Calderoni was arrested for corruption. Marco? What on earth? I thought Marco was such a nice person. Who knew he was dirtying his hands like that?
Them politicians are the same too. I thought Paris was an honest guy. This is all so screwed up.
A news article on Gerald Paris's involvement with narcotics was also on the front page. Politicians and police involved in crime. The article says that the Falzone family was pulling strings from behind.
Now what, they all fled the manor? I heard that the Kingdom of Italy is moving to get rid of the Falzones.
I wouldn't be surprised. After all, they did all that. Maybe we should move somewhere else. Out of False while we still can. Everyone was speaking ill of the Falzone. I crumpled the newspaper in my hand. They're all lies. Lies! The man who handed me the paper heard me, then looked at me with a frown.
It's like, hey, I was reading that paper. Why'd you crumple it?
Aren't you that girl with the Falzone? No, not at all. Oh, but I've seen you before. I'm sorry, I need to run. Thank you for sharing the news with me. I quickly ran off and headed toward the Falzone manor. All right, guys, what happened here? Phew. I took a deep breath after my short sprint in an effort to calm myself. See, I've already been pegged. I should, run back to Dante and get a disguise, and then come back out again. Whatever the case, I should know more about what's happening once I'm at the manor. As I was about to move again, I heard yelling from a store across the street. Please, I just want to buy some...
We have nothing to sell, Falzone.
Julia? How dare they? It was by sheer coincidence that I found Julia, but the storekeeper's harsh words were infuriating. Julia simply turned around and walked away. I ran over to her and called out her name. What, so nobody's answering because everybody's out busy doing things? How could the entire family be out? Julia! Lily? What are you doing here? Where's the young Dante? He's... No, wait. Let's talk somewhere else. I don't want any harm to come to you. I'm sure there's a good reason you're out here alone. Indeed. Well, Dante and I are both being complete idiots, letting me come out here with no disguise at all. Not saying much more, we quickly walked back to the Falzone manor. Well, I guess it hasn't burned down. I tried calling, but no one answered. I was worried that something happened. I see. Some prankster cut our phone connection. Ah. Prankster? Who would have thought that someone would dare do such a thing to the mafia? Yet you would think that the people would still be afraid of the mafia. Why would a bad article about the mafia make people actually act against them? They should have been afraid of them all this time, and this article shouldn't have made them be any less afraid. That aside, why are you walking out here on your own? Did something happen to young Dante? Don't worry, we weren't attacked. Except for by germs. I tried to calm Julia, who was going pale, and explained my situation. We need some aspirin. So Dante has a high fever right now. Or maybe acetaminophen. I wanted to call a doctor to come to the hotel, but I wasn't sure how safe that would be, so I wanted to contact someone at the manor. I tried calling, but since no one answered, I decided to step out, and here I am. I see. I guess the stress got to him. Julia sounded a bit better now, but still rather worried. I wouldn't be surprised, as he's been through so much in such a short time. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but apologize to Julia. Oh, why are you apologizing? You've done nothing wrong. No need to be so hard on yourself. It's just what I do. Because I'm a heroine in a Japanese game, we just apologize a lot. Just like the British. And Canadians. We do have a doctor who sees to the Falzones. I would like to call him, but since our phone line's been cut, I'll send for a doctor to the hotel. I'll have someone guard you, so please, hurry back to the hotel. Thank you, Julia. I must say, you're very brave walking through the town at a time like this. Brave or foolish? Definitely both. Anyway, another meanwhile story. Bar. So apparently this one's not Dante. From Gilbert. Hey Gil, you're here!
Well, yeah. You're the one who told me that you got some good venison.
Of course. I'll get it ready right away. You're going to drop when you have a taste of this.
I went to my usual bar to have an early dinner. They had outdoor dining along the street. Having a drink outside at night was really something.
Looking good, Gil. Here, it's on me.
What? Something good happened?
I guess he hasn't heard about the Falzones.
You folks are helping me bring in customers. What's not to be happy about?
Huh?
Huh. Nice to hear. If that's the case, drinks for all these fine folks will be on me for tonight. The customers cheered hearing my offer.
Free drinks, woo! Gil's the best. This guy's a real man. Suddenly I sense a chorus of Gaston, except it would be Gilbert. Maybe I should leave False and move to Creta. Why? What?
I knew the Falzone was losing both their hold on the area and their reputation. Creta is open to all. You're more than welcome.
Grazie, Gil. Oh, hey, if you don't mind, can I order something a bit more expensive?
Huh, you're cheeky. Order whatever you like.
Ooh, boy, here's to Gil.
The night was filled with cheers and drinks, the perfect way for me to end the day.
Oh, it's really nothing. I just wanted to help Dante. I do have Dante's gift with me, too. If needed. Or maybe it was my thoughts of Dante's state that helped me fight my fears.
Really?
I woke up to the sound of Dante's voice. After I came back to the hotel, the doctor arrived and he said Dante would be fine. I must have fallen asleep around then. It seems I had slept for quite a while. It looked to be pitch black outside. Dante, are you all right?
I'm fine. I feel a lot better now.
That's good to hear.
By the way,
I looked at Dante and noticed he was holding a newspaper in hand. It was the newspaper I brought back with me from the outside. I thought I crumpled that up. Why would I bring that back here? I couldn't say anything to him. Seeing my silence, he began to speak. Wouldn't the doctor have said something anyway? I'm pretty sure somebody would have clued him in.
I suppose there's not much power left for us to wield with the public. I heard from the doctor that the Falzone family's reputation has plummeted.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. I could tell he was disappointed. I saw Dante put himself in danger in order to help the people of the town. After all that, he must be in such pain. Those ingrates.
I'm sorry.
Huh? Why would you apologize?
The Falzone is rooted in this town. It's difficult to keep a reputation without the respect and fear of the people. With how we are now, I'm not sure we can continue to properly protect you.
Dante, all I ask is that you think about yourself now. Does he need to go have his people run out and gun down some people to restore some fear of the mafia? So they can get their reputation back? I understand that the Falzone family's mission is to protect the Key Maiden, but... Do you recall what Nicola said?
If you really want to fulfill the mission, you should get rid of her. Sure, she has value, but she can be replaced.
Dante won't think that either. That was what Nicola said that night. I'm sure Dante remembered what I was referring to, but he dismissed it.
Protecting you is the pride of the Falzone family. Speaking as a man of honor, using someone as a simple tool, and bringing about an even greater grief is far below me.
Greater grief?
The Key Maiden is tied to the sacred relic. Your very existence is highly sought after. You are born with a cross on your shoulder, whether you like it or not. There is no way I could burden you with any more troubles.
But the Falzone was formed to be the guardians of the relic, right? What Nicola said is true. You're irreplaceable, and you need to survive more than anyone. Since he has no successors, I guess? But Nicola being his cousin could probably still inherit, right? And that would probably lead to the Falzones restoring their pride. Dante, you've been protecting me all this time. You've always put me first. You can't imagine how happy that makes me. I expressed my honest feelings with a smile. I certainly was scared at first. You weren't the easiest to talk to, and I didn't know what was going on. If you didn't protect me like you did, I would have been captured by someone else. But this time, the ones in danger now were Dante and his family. I want your priority to be yourself.
You do know what that means, don't you?
Dante, you've sacrificed enough as the boss of the family. You resorted to cruel measures in order to protect the town and the relic. So why not use me? Can't you offer me to someone and somehow put an end to the situation?
You're willing to sacrifice yourself.
The same way that you were, yeah. But you know Dante's not going to say that. He said taking care of you is the Falzone family's pride. If he gave you up, he'd be giving up his pride. Of course not. But as someone who was raised in Berlone, I don't want this town to go to ruin either.
You're being unrealistic. Even if I surrendered, the remaining groups will fight until only one is left standing.
I understand that. Send me off to one who will bring about the best results for you. For example, you can hand me over to Visconti, just like Nicola did. I'm sure the Visconti would help the Falzone then. It then struck me. Maybe this was what Nicola was planning when he betrayed Dante. Only now did I realize it. That was probably his way of protecting the family. Maybe, but I think it was misguided, if it was. You know, Dante, I love Berlone. Sure, it isn't perfect, but it's still the place I call home. He had a confused expression on his face. He stared at me with his azure blue eyes. The Falzone has supported this town from the shadows, right? Which means that this town won't go to ruin as long as the Falzone is around. I'm willing to offer everything I have for the Falzone, and for you, Dante.
Why? Why do you trust me like this?
Because you have proved you're worthy of the trust.
I'm not who you think I am. The Falzone has been losing ground ever since my father died. It's my fault that the Lao Shu has grown to what they are now. I'm not fit to be boss. My father made a mistake. He appointed the wrong person to take over.
You're too hard on yourself. But it's not a mistake.
Nicola, he is the next in bloodline within the Falzone family. He's as close as can be in becoming the true boss of the family. Nicola also has talent. He has the ability to lead them.
Well then, let's you and I run away together, and leave things here to him.
His looks are deceiving. He has the ruthlessness and bravado to be the boss.
Dante laughed scornfully to himself.
I'm just a coward. I've always been scared. Taking another's life, carrying out the family's mission, it's all beyond me. And yet, I did what I could as boss so that I could fulfill the mission given to me. I'm worthless.
Dante's father, the previous boss, passed away and left him this burden since youth. He spoke as a single young man, speaking the truth, which brought pain to my heart. You're wrong, Dante. You're a man who thinks with his brain and acts with his heart, and always for others. That doesn't make you a coward. That makes you brave. I didn't trust you when I first met you. I know I was a burden for you back then. I looked into his tearing eyes, which shimmered with sorrow. But you lied and kept the truth away from me so I wouldn't get hurt. You did that to protect me. Again, I feel misguided. But at least it was the thought that counts, I guess. It was then I learned that you're not a cold-hearted person at all. You were holding your feelings back. You bore that pain and fought for others. As I spoke, the memory of the day he bought me roses as an apology came back to me. That was cute.
No matter the reason, the fact that I hurt you has no justification. I'm truly sorry for what I have done. Will you accept my apology?
He didn't speak to me as a mafia boss. He spoke to me as a person, from the bottom of his heart. I realized how kind he truly was, now that I had seen all he had done. You were fighting to protect others. You were fighting for everyone else. Which is why I trust you more than anyone, Dante.
No, I can't let you go.
Dante.
I heard there are others out there who can act as the Key Maiden.
At the same time? Really?
But I don't want you to go, Lily.
Dante was looking straight into my eyes. His eyes were shaking, but his voice was filled with courage and strength.
This has nothing to do with the Falzone. This is coming from me.
Is this the confession?
My mission and my position aren't of concern, even if you weren't the Key Maiden. I want to protect you.
You can't possibly be mistaking this one, Lily. But
if I were to adhere to my mission, I may have chosen to sacrifice the Key Maiden. And if it were another woman, then I might have taken that option.
But I thought he was protecting me because I was the Key Maiden. Ah, fool. After all the little moments, was I wrong all this time? Yes! Dante wants to protect me? To protect Liliana? Yes.
I am certainly unfit to be boss when I'm unable to suppress my feelings like this.
That's not true. I yelled at Dante, who was trying to restrain himself. Dante had a surprised look on his face. You may be the Falzone family's boss, but it doesn't mean that you can't have emotions. Beyond being a boss, you're a human, just like any one of us.
There you go again, yelling at me, reprimanding me. You don't even follow my orders. You're about the only person who does that.
Well, I'm not your underling. Despite what he was saying, he looked a lot more relaxed now.
My orders were absolute, followed by all the citizens of False as well as my family. But they were following me as if those words came from a soulless machine.
I would not say that. I think most of your people look up to you and admire you, not just because you're the boss.
You approached me and expressed your emotions to me honestly, with courage. You see me as a human, not as a boss, and you're the only one to have said that to me, Lily.
No, I know that isn't true, Dante. It's just that you haven't noticed. Everyone in the Falzone family cares about you and worries about you. That isn't because you're the boss. It's because you're you, Dante. Yeah, how can you doubt it, especially from people like Leo and Julia? Clearly they love him as like family. I'm happy to know that you didn't want to let me go. I don't want you to suffer, Dante. I don't want to hurt the family or Berlone or the mission you bear as a Falzone. Or you, Dante. I'm still unsure what it truly means to be the Key Maiden. I don't think I truly understand what value I have. So I want to know everything there is and figure out what I can do to help. I thought I could simply sacrifice myself, but that was short-sighted of me. After all, whoever gets me probably has some kind of leg up on everybody else. I want to think with you about what we can do together. So please, tell me what you want, Dante, and not as the Falzone's boss. What do you want, Dante? He just told you he wants you. Dante paused for a bit to think, and with resolve he began to speak.
The Falzone family, my mission, you, this town. I want to protect them all, every single one of them. I suppose that makes me greedy.
Aww. No, sounds generous to me.
And this feeling I have doesn't change whether I'm the boss of the Falzone family or myself as a person.
His bold words brought a smile to my face. I'm sure we have other options. Let's work together to find them.
Thank you. I suppose you're much stronger than I thought.
No, I'm weak, but I think I'm only strong now because I want to protect you, Dante.
I want to be strong for you, too. That was a pathetic display of mine back then. It is definitely not how I want to be seen.
Well, I was very happy to see this unexpected side of you.
You're the only person with whom I can be myself.
His gentle smile and heartfelt words made my heart race. It was then that it dawned on me. Wait, back when I doubted him, thinking he was only treating me well because I was the Key Maiden, was I avoiding Dante because I was actually...
I appreciate your honesty. Your fate and my mission drew us together like this. But even without my mission, I want to protect you from now on. Forever.
That is a straight-up confession! Come on, Lily!
I want to be by your side, and not as the Falzone's boss, but as a man.
Dante! Now she gets it, finally! Ah!
I love you, Lily.
Dante? I think I finally understand something.
Huh?
Do you still wonder why I was avoiding you back then?
Yes, tell me.
I think you might know. That looks like a little bit of a knowing smile. It was because I was attracted to you. I thought you were only being kind to me because of your mission. Thinking about it brought me pain, so I couldn't help but act so strangely back then. I looked straight into Dante's widened eyes and confessed my true feelings. I love you too, Dante. I'm sure I'm blushing too, but I just love to see him blush. Dante embraced me. He turned his head toward my face and mumbled softly.
I love you.
We shared the same feelings. Dante's eyes slowly closed, and I closed mine as well. Here we go! And it begins! Finally together! Our lips touched. I could feel his love. My heart surged with a warmth that I'd never felt before. Perhaps we would lose everything. But his warmth soothed the pain in my soul and made me forget my fear of the future. I loved Dante. My feelings were more apparent than ever. His soft and gentle lips sent waves of happiness throughout my whole body. I'm sure we can do something. I don't want to give up. I want to protect my dearest Dante. Our hearts bonded that night, and with it, my wish for a better future, a future where nothing would be lost. Were our hearts the only thing that bonded that night? Methinks perhaps not. Chapter 8. Ricersa? And again, I have no clue. As mixed as I am, pretty sure Italian's not in there. But who knows, it could be. Nobody knows what races are in that amalgamation that is the white side of my family. But we're going to stop the video here. So I hope to see you in that next video, or perhaps some of my other ones. And I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.